Imagine living in a world where your every move is tracked, every thought, every feeling monitored. This isn't science fiction, this is the alleged reality of Montel Alexander Bowman. For 40 years, he claims, technology has been used to invade his privacy. His thoughts intercepted, his feelings manipulated, his life turned into a horrifying experiment. Bowman's story sounds unbelievable. But what if it's true? What if we're already living in a world where technology has crossed the line, where our innermost thoughts are no longer our own? Bowman's case, if proven, is a terrifying glimpse into a future where privacy is a distant memory, a future where technology is used not to empower us but to control us. This is a wake-up call, people. We need to talk about this. We live in a world increasingly mediated by technology. Our phones, our computers, our smart devices, they're all collecting data about us. And that data is incredibly valuable. Companies use it to target us with ads, to predict our behavior, even to influence our decisions. They call it personalization, but it's really just manipulation. They want to know what makes us tick so they can sell us more stuff. But what happens when that technology becomes more sophisticated? When it can read our emotions, track our movements, even influence our thoughts? That's the scary part. We're entering a new era of technological control, and if we're not careful, we'll all be living in Montel Bowman's nightmare. Technology is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil. The problem is we're not having a serious conversation about the ethical implications of these powerful new technologies. We're so caught up in the hype, in the promise of progress, that we're not stopping to ask the tough questions. Questions like, what are the limits of surveillance? What does it mean to have a right to privacy in the digital age? And who gets to decide? These are complex issues, but we can't afford to ignore them because the future of our freedom is at stake. In the 18th century, philosopher Jeremy Bentham designed a prison called the Panopticon. It was a circular building with a central tower allowing guards to see into every cell at all times. The prisoners never knew if they were being watched, so they had to behave as if they were constantly under surveillance. That's the world we're creating with all this technology, a world where we're always being watched, judged, and analyzed. And it's having a chilling effect on our behavior. We're becoming more self-conscious, more afraid to speak our minds. And that's a recipe for a less free and less democratic society. Section 5, data, the new goldmine fueling surveillance capitalism. Data is the new oil. It's the fuel that powers the modern economy. And just like oil, it's extracted, refined, and sold for profit. The problem is we're not the customers in this equation. We're the product. Our data is being collected, analyzed, and sold to the highest bidder, and we have very little control over how it's used. This is the essence of surveillance capitalism. Our lives are being monetized, and we're only beginning to understand the true cost. Section 6. Algorithmic injustice, when AI perpetuates bias and discrimination. Artificial intelligence is everywhere these days. It's used to recommend products, filter news feeds, even make decisions about who gets hired or who gets a loan. The problem is, AI is only as good as the data it's trained on. And if that data is biased, the AI will be biased too. This is leading to a new form of algorithmic injustice. People are being discriminated against based on their race, gender, or socioeconomic status, all because of biased algorithms, and it's happening without any human oversight or accountability. Section 7, the erosion of privacy, a fundamental human right under threat. Privacy is not a luxury, it's a fundamental human right. It's essential for our freedom, our autonomy, and our dignity. But in the digital age, privacy is under attack like never before. Governments and corporations are collecting vast amounts of data about us, and they're using that data to track our movements, monitor our communications, and even predict our behavior. This erosion of privacy is a dangerous trend. It's time to draw a line in the sand and say enough is enough. Section 8, fighting back legal recourse and the quest for justice. Montel Bowman is fighting back. He's filed a lawsuit alleging that his rights have been violated. And he's not alone. People all over the world are waking up to the dangers of technological surveillance, and they're demanding accountability. We need stronger laws and regulations to protect our privacy in the digital age. We need to hold corporations and governments accountable for their actions. And we need to raise awareness about this issue so that everyone understands what's at stake. Section 9. Reclaiming our digital future towards ethical and responsible technology. Technology doesn't have to be a force for evil. It can be used to empower people, to connect us, to make the world a better place. But we need to be thoughtful and deliberate about how we develop and deploy these powerful new technologies. We need to put ethics at the forefront of the conversation. And we need to make sure that technology serves humanity, not the other way around. The future is not yet written. We still have a chance to create a digital world that respects our privacy, our freedom, and our humanity. But we need to act now before it's too late.